All right, family. We live with the general. You already know what it is. Raw commentary on black politics, history, culture, spirituality. You already know what it is. We're going to be talking about Africa must rise and fix their own countries. Nah, that's what people's is saying, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But before we get started, I want to make sure you click that link at the top of the chat. Get over there to Patreon. I got to raise your frequency. I got to reconnect you to your black divinity. Ancient Egypt, ancient Egyptian origins of solar power and electricity. We got to go to the walls. We got to redeem myself. You understand? Also, the ancient Egyptian origins of the Jedi Knight. We got to reconnect. You understand? Go to the highest levels of our divinity, and then we can see how far we have fallen. You see, and we understand where we must return to become the best of who we are. You see, and then you can get on over there to Patreon, General Seti, and let's elevate. You feel what I'm saying? Uh, so we see what's going on over in Africa. It's going on here too. It's going on over here too. And everybody want to fight down. They don't want to fight up. They don't want to go for the big bag. They want to go for some insignificant victory, insignificant victories. If that's what you want to call it, for nothing. And still in the same fucking predicament that you're in. You ain't moved nowhere because the root cause of why you are in the predicament, because you, first and foremost, you don't understand your divine destiny, but you got your responsibility, your destiny, and you got to understand your divinity, your divine code on the planet first and foremost. And we done lost our divinity. A lot of our people done lost divinity, so they're not connected to the cosmos in no way, no how. You see, and when you disconnect from the cosmos, then you don't even have a destiny. You don't have no destiny. What destiny? You don't know your destiny until you connect to your divinity. Once you understand your divinity, then you will understand your destiny. Your destiny will appear. But when you disconnected from the cosmos, you don't have no damn destiny. Everything is in, high, in man's projection of success and things of that nature. That's how you conceive success, based on what mankind, has laid out for you. You don't have no divine destiny. So, that's why people act the way they do. They're in a state of turmoil because they've been disconnected, and so that's where we at. That's exactly where we at. When you go and you are in an argument and you want to fight the boy look just like Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? The Afrikaner look just like the white Jesus you niggas pray to every Sunday. You in a dilemma. You're in a dilemma. And that's the reality of that. You're in a dilemma. Okay. You can't go fight the powers that be when you open up your goddamn Bible and the centerfold look just like Sheriff O'Reilly and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you go down to the damn courtroom and Moses look like Judge McMillan and shit. You know what I'm saying? And and you go down and the police whooping on your head, nigga, look like one of Jesus' disciples and shit. How in the hell you fighting the powers that be? But you spiritually entrapped, and a lot of motherfuckers been spiritually entrapped. They can't get out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, we've been taught, niggas ain't shit, and black is evil and all that. And so, it's easier for you to attack down. It's easier for you to jump on your own people. It's easier for you to upload, because if you upload some damn videos on your ass whooping on white people like that, the world they gonna try to have your ass. They gonna look for your ass. You see, how that man, he whooped that brother. He whooped him. Now if he was whooping on the white man, the other white nations would demand that Ramaphosa find that nigga and lock his ass up. He would have to find him. You know what I'm saying? But they can look and watch this man. He know he taller than the man, bigger than the man. Whoop that man. That man ain't even fighting back. When a man ain't fighting back, that's it, man. You tapped out. You know what I'm saying? You hit him with a 3-piece and a biscuit, and the nigga ain't even trying to fight back. You got to demand and tap. You got to go and let him go. Take your ass on up and get out my face. You don't keep whooping the man. Then some old niggas jump on the man. Y'all some fucking vigilantes, man. You ain't proving shit. You know what I'm saying? You talking about you gonna have to hire yourself. Who in the fuck gonna hire a motherfucker that's savage and shit? You know what I'm saying? Even if I was black and I seen how you niggas are, you think I would want one of you niggas in a business that I own and you act like that? You know, you ain't got no goddamn compassion you can be thorough and be compassionate too. You know what I'm saying? Even if the papers ain't right, you could be thorough and you could be, brother, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to get your ass up out of here. Your paperwork ain't right. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to get your paperwork right. You know the rules, you see, but you ain't even the law. You see, when they come down and lock your ass up, you can't exert no authority, nigga. You see, but you want to exert authority over somebody else. You see, you want to exert some authority over, and you ain't even the law, nigga. And if the law get on your head, ain't shit you gonna be able to do but go down to the damn prison cell. So what is you really doing? You perpetrating the fraud, nigga. You perpetrating the fraud, and so the thing, it's again, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. So this is not a good look for our people to be seen, and there's some things going on all over and people all over the continent. And motherfuckers talking about, and I understand Black Americans got some shit, some beef with motherfuckers coming over here talking shit. Yeah, and I understand why about that too. I understand that, but we still got to go to the higher of ourselves. Yeah, we can't let motherfuckers talk shit, but everybody ain't talking shit, And if they is, then then maybe we just gonna have to do what need to be done. We gonna have to do. But at the same time, this is really the bottom of the barrel fighting with the bottom of the goddamn barrel. That's just all it is. It's a real fucked up situation. Cause ain't none of this shit gonna change shit. Just cause you whoop a nigga or you put this community out of that don't mean economically nothing gonna change for your black ass. That no power is gonna exchange hand because you put out, man, the goddamn cracker been treating you like dog shit before the immigrants even came over. And you niggas over there in Africa talking about unemployment. Motherfucker, you been unemployed, nigga. The only employment you have, nigga, is digging for them diamonds for them Europeans and shit, and resources. Yeah, they'll give your ass a job. And if they think you got a sprinkle of gold dust in your goddamn pocket, they'll beat the goddamn black off your ass. You see what I'm saying? They getting it, so that ain't gonna change shit. And because people don't have the courage, to stand up and look this man in his eye and deal with him, they have degenerated down to where they feel, the small, this is not a victory. This is the our people in the state of the what is the just the state of degradation. You had just you just then gave up, threw in the towel and shit. And so motherfuckers know it's fucked up out here, but they don't want to go and make the necessary changes that a lot of our ancestors was fighting to make the change. They wasn't waiting on the motherfucking Peckerwood to give them nothing. They had built up a lot of cities of their own. They had bought land on their own. They was growing their own food. And of course, I see in South Africa where they took the land. They took the land over here too. Okay, then that show you something. Then you got this. You gonna have to make a motherfucker. You gonna have to make them back up. That's just all it is to it. Motherfucker, come take some land. There's gonna be some. It's gonna have to be some running in the goddamn yard, nigga. It's gonna be some liquids, some red liquids flowing some goddamn well because we can't keep going through this shit. That's ultimately what it boiled down to, standing up and fighting for your existence on the planet. Other than that, it's just not gonna we're gonna be in the same predicament, where you gotta walk in hospitals. I seen where they walked in hospitals and was telling African people they can't get help. Nigga, we is in trouble as a people. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to have, ain't no way. You supposed to be have enough power where it ain't shit to you to try to heal. You see black women and children get up out the hospital because they not South African and shit, and somebody is sick or something. And you mean to tell me a motherfucker can't go in there and get some help? That's sad. That's sad shit, man. We supposed to be above that shit. We supposed to rise to the occasion and take over what need to be so we can render some. We always been healers. God damn, that's one of our attributes. Imhotep, being a healer. We are healers. That's what we do naturally. That's a part of our divinity. That ain't about nigga, you get up out of nigga. That's a part of our divinity. Medicine, you see what I'm saying? That's not something that's arbitrary, nigga. That's divine, nigga. That's divine. Medu, nigga. That's sacred. That's the medicine. Medu netta. This, that's sacred. Netta, So you dealing with the medu, so that's above and beyond. So, healing is a sacred art. And so the fact that, we done lost the divine, connection to, who we are as a people and all the things and that we brought to the planet on a divine level, not just no arbitrary, I'm sick and no, nigga, we about to heal you. We about to heal you spiritually. And you sick, nigga. And usually when you get physically sick, nigga, your mind ain't right. We gotta get in the mind too. We gotta get in the spirit and align all that, but you can go in a hospital and tell people they ain't, no, man, you fucked up. You fucked up as a people, you know. You fucked up as a people. And then you got these Europeans, and like I say, you turn around and they can go wherever they want to go, and whenever they want to go, got all the money, got all, and you supposed to have that. You supposed to have control over that. So it ain't nothing for you to, give somebody some healing. That's a part of the divinity of the cosmos to do that. And so you done lost all connection to that. I understand people caught up in the what's that they call the demiurge, you know. People caught up in the demiurge. Yeah, yeah. I got some more. I'm gonna play a little later on. Yeah, they caught up in the demiurge, the Yaldabaoth. You see where they caught in this matrix and shit, and they don't fucking know how to they don't know how to get out of it because they didn't disconnect it from the cosmos. And when motherfuckers disconnect, they become damn they savage. You didn't disintegrate it down to the level of a damn savage. You see, we're gonna have to wake up, man. Tap in, family, get over there, Patreon, get that work, man. We're gonna keep teaching, we're gonna keep reaching over here. Hard truth. Hard truth. Somebody got to say it, though. I get black with y'all in a minute, family. Click the link, and I'll see you in a minute. Black Power.